Hi, my name is Chardon. Welcome to the SG Sports channel. As the Dodgers get the 6-4 win over the Giants from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Now, I would like to welcome Loro Antonio to the post-game show. How you doing, Loro?
Doing good, Shardo. It's been a minute since we did a show like this before. The Dodgers just took 3 out of 4 from the
So,
San
what are your
Francisco
reactions from the
Giants.
game tonight?
No, what I was saying is that the Dodgers just took 3 out of 4 from the San Francisco Giants, and they actually have won the season series with them. As for today's game, it was great to see Clayton Kershaw back. I mean, it's been a minute since he's been on a big league mound. And then you also talk about the Dodgers offense lighting it up at the right time in the bottom of the eighth after the Giants put up 2 more runs to get back into this game. But all in all, the Dodgers just had a great series, and they have been playing great baseball since the All-Star break.
And it's looking they're looking like the better team right now. Their record is really good. They're 62-42. It looks like they're probably going to make it to the postseason.
Yeah, you obviously, I think, well, as for the Giants, showed up, there's questions like, are they going to trade Matt Chapman or Blake Snell? Those questions will have to be answered at the trade deadline. But what were your overall thoughts on this series between the Dodgers and Giants? You only got the 1 win on Wednesday.
I mean, the Dodgers and Giants is a great series. I mean, this series has gone way back. I think we play pretty competitive in all 4 of these games. I think you guys play pretty competitive as well. I think you brought your firepower out against the Giants, and I think you played really well. I got to give you kudos on how well you did.
Absolutely. You also have to note today, in this game today, Shohei Ohtani homered, Nick Ahmed, the former Giant, homered, and, the Dodgers just found a way to win this game. Clayton Kershaw coming back today only went 4 innings. He should have gone 5, but, this was his first start back. But the Giants also got a lot of players back from injury, too.
I mean, as a Giants fan, I mean, Nick Ahmed brought great stuff to the Giants when he was playing for our organization. But it's really tough to see him in any none other than a Giants uniform, and seeing him donning another team's uniform. That's always heartbreaking to see another player wearing another team's uniform, and doing so well on his new team.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to see that, but, obviously it is. Nick Ahmed got released here, but I also think that for the Giants here, a lot of questions are going to be on Farhan Zaidi if he's going to get fired. Do you think the Giants will fire Farhan Zaidi at the end of the season?
I think they might fire him at the end of the season if this team keeps performing poorly at this rate they are performing right now. There is a highly chance that they might fire Farhan. I don't want to say that because I want him to stay, but it looks like if he's not proving himself, it looks like he needs to leave.
The reason why I asked that is because he just hired Bob Melvin as the next skipper to replace Gabe Kapler. Bob Melvin is doing what he could, but the roster is just not really good enough in a sense. But talk about guys who had a great series against the Dodgers. Tyler Fitzgerald has been an extra base machine, and then you talk about Heliot Ramos having an all-star type season.
This team is really good. Like we're stacked. We have a lot of great players on this roster. We got Yastrzemski on this roster. We got Webb. This team is really good, but if they're not going to prove well for this whole season right now, I don't think this team is going to have any more success. It's just heartbreaking to say that as a Giants fan, but it's just like, I want this team to do really well. And if they're going to keep performing at this rate and letting people down, I don't think they're going to have much success over the season.
You talk about the stats today. In the series finale, looking at the players here, no home runs today for the Giants. Michael Conforto drove in a run, and then you also talk about Tyler Fitzgerald you driving in a run too with an extra. He had a triple off Clayton Kershaw today, and then Elliot Ramos drove in a run here. But Soler and Conforto were really clutch today with their 2-out hitting.
Like, do you think that your Dodgers are going to do well in the season after how well they're performing right now?
You know what? The pitching needs to be better. Just because the trade deadline, we're going to need some really good arms at the deadline, just so that the Dodgers are relevant. I know that we're going to get reinforcements back when we get Yoshinobu Yamamoto back, and when we get Walker Buehler back at some point, and then getting Bobby Miller up from AAA. But I feel like the offense has been really good since the All-Star break, but the pitching has just been kind of poor as of late.
Laura, what were your thoughts on Chris Taylor suffering that groin injury in Game 3, and in Game 4 they brought up James Outman from AAA?
Chris Taylor has just had tough luck this year, but before his IL stint, he's been on a tear lately. I mean, he's been hitting the ball better. But for James Outman, the thing I would like to see from James Outman is for him to make adjustments at the plate. I don't think he's done that this year, but I also think that Ohtani is on pace for an MVP type season. He could be a triple crown leader, as you know, but Glasnow was a little rusty in his first game back. Clayton Kershaw did pretty good, but you also talk about the Giants and their pitching. Robbie Ray, first game back, had a bad first inning where the Dodgers could have just got to him, but he was lucky to get out of that inning. But I just felt like Tuesday's game, I think, was the best just because, the Dodgers put up a lot of runs, but I just felt like the Dodgers bullpen is going to need a break.
As a Dodgers fan, what were your thoughts on Teoscar Hernandez winning the MLB Home Run Derby?
Oh, it's good. Teoscar Hernandez has had a fantastic first year with the Dodgers. I don't see him going anywhere just because I really think Teoscar Hernandez is going to be a Dodger for life. And he was an all-star this year. I mean, with the injuries that the Dodgers have had to their lineup with like Mookie Betts being out, Max Muncy being out, Teoscar's really done his part, and Shohei Ohtani has done a good job in the leadoff spot.
How much grit, determination, and hard work have you seen in Teoscar Hernandez over the season?
I think it was, I think Teoscar's been very good. I think that Teoscar Hernandez is living to that 1-year contract, but I do think the Dodgers will re-sign him. But a subject for another day. The Dodgers are going to be in on Juan Soto this offseason. I think they have the money to do that. It's going to be a bidding war between them, the Phillies, and the New York Yankees. But as for the Giants here, I felt like they did a good job in getting Matt Chapman, Jorge Soler, Blake Snell. But those guys haven't really turned out pretty good, and they haven't performed up to the expectations that we're looking for in those guys.
So as a Dodgers fan, you, winning 3 games out of this 4-game series, I think that's well deserved because you guys are a really great team, and at least we won 1 game, but in the end, you guys won the series because you guys took 3 out of 4 from the Giants.
I know it's hard to get sweeps, but the Giants winning that game on Wednesday, it was literally. It was just their playoffs. They had a great game. Robbie Ray got the win. And then you also talk about guys in that 6-run 8th inning that really contributed, such as guys like Jorge Soler, Elliot Ramos, Michael Conforto. But for the Giants, I just feel like that what they need to learn from this series is I just think that they're playing the Rockies this weekend, and that's a series I think they gotta take.
I mean, for me, it's always good to get a sweep, But it looks like we didn't get a sweep because you halted it.
Yeah, because
So
for the Giants coming up, they play a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies, including that doubleheader, and then 2 games with the Oakland A's. Soon they're going to be playing in the San Francisco Giants AAA ballpark in Sacramento. And then after that, the Giants will be on the road with Cincinnati and Washington before returning home to take on the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but a 7-game homestand.
for me, I'm a big fan of Logan Webb, and he's a great pitcher, but he didn't have a great game today, and a lot of people are throwing a lot of shade on him and saying that Logan Webb is trash and this guy should be traded. I mean, I don't think that's true because he's a good pitcher, man. You need to let this guy, see how well this guy plays, and I've seen many times, and it's very heartbreaking how people are saying he's not the pitcher and he needs to leave this team. I'm like, that's too harsh.
Logan Webb is the ace of the Giants starting staff, but there's just times where he hasn't been good. Like, he's not been good against the Dodgers in his career. Blake Snell has. If you look at this rotation that the Dodgers have, I mean that the Giants have. I mean, Logan Webb's not good against the Dodgers. Blake Snell always has the Dodgers number. Robbie Ray pitched well, but he was lucky that he pitched well. I mean, that wasn't really a quality start in his first start back. Jordan Hicks is just hit or miss. You don't know what type of pitcher you're going to get from Jordan Hicks. And then Kyle Harrison should be good. But, the Giants just need a little bit of pitching, hitting. But I kind of think the Giants to me are just not a very good offensive team. They're not really consistent.
I mean, the Los Angeles Dodgers have a really stacked roster. Are you looking to add to the roster that you already have, or you think that your roster is pretty good enough and you don't need to add any more players onto it?
We need to add a starting pitcher. That's what I think is our number one priority at the trade deadline. I also think adding an outfielder like a Luis Robert Jr., if he doesn't cost too much, the Dodgers could trade with the White Sox to land him here, but this is not going to happen. Mike Trout is always injury prone, but the Angels are just a huge mess right now with their roster and record, but I just don't think the Angels are going to be that good for a while. But
which starting pitcher are you looking forward for the Dodgers to get? I mean, do you have any do you have any players that you have in mind that you want, or are you kind of thinking about that at the moment?
I would like the Dodgers to go after Jack Flaherty. He's on a 1-year contract with the Detroit Tigers. I think the Dodgers can put together a trade that's fair for both sides without having to give up a top prospect and all that. But I think I also saw something about the trade deadline here. It looked like Randy Arozarena is going to the Seattle Mariners. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Oh, actually, it is. Breaking news. Hold on, Shardo. We have breaking news here. The Seattle Mariners have acquired Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Rays.
So what were your thoughts on the trade?
I think the Mariners are getting an impact back in Randy Arozarena. I thought the Dodgers were going to get him, but the Mariners just found a way to bolster their lineup with Randy Arozarena. Now the Dodgers are pretty much out of him. But as for who I think the Dodgers are going to get when it comes to starting pitching, I would like Jack Flaherty just because he's more of a cheaper option than Turek Skubal. Because Turek Skubal is going to demand for a lot of that is going to be expensive if you get Turek Skubal because he's having a Cy Young type season, but it looks like the Detroit Tigers are not going to trade Turek Skubal.
Which player do you think? Which player on the Dodgers do you think has had the most success over the years?
Well, it's Clayton Kershaw, obviously, but talking about this year, Shohei Ohtani has had a memorable first year in Dodger blue because he could be leading the MLB in RBIs. He's having a triple crown type season. And as for I think which other target the Dodgers are looking into, Luis Robert Jr. from the Chicago White Sox, and I say that because him and Garrett Crochet are rumored to be in trade talks with the Dodgers, but I just don't want the Dodgers to give up too much for that,
How many home runs do you think Shohei Ohtani is gonna have by the end of the season? I mean, he already has 50 right now.
Well, he's at 31. I think he can get to 50, but he's on pace to set a new single season home run record with the Dodgers.
I think my Giants. I think that our season mostly done. I think that our record is so horrible. I mean, we're 48-55. I think we're gonna get more losses in the season than wins because this team is so great, and this team tries to put their number. They try and be successful and have, be a great ball club. But if they keep playing at this rate, I don't think that the Giants are going to make it to the postseason. I think they might get eliminated, just like the A's just got eliminated from the postseason.
Well, the Giants are probably not going to make the playoffs, just because, they just don't have a good enough roster that will get them there. They're still stuck in like third or fourth place behind like San Diego or Arizona. Arizona just made a big trade to get A.J. Pook from the Miami Marlins to kind of bolster their bullpen. The Diamondbacks are looking to get back to the postseason.
I mean, as a Giants fan, like, it's heartbreaking that we're probably not going to make the postseason because of because of the current record right now, and we've traded a lot of our players. We traded Brandon Crawford away, we traded Austin Slater away, we traded Nick Ahmed to the Dodgers. So I think that it's heartbreaking that they traded most of our good players. Like Brandon Crawford was really great. He's playing for St. Louis now. Austin Slater's playing for the Cincinnati Reds, and then Nick Ahmed's playing for the Dodgers.
Well, he's just a placeholder because Miguel Rojas is hurt.
But then who are they going to replace Miguel Rojas if he's injured?
It's Nick Ahmed. He's starting to show up for us now. And we'll see if he can perform, and then we'll see if he has a place on the roster for next year.
As a Giants fan, it's always heartbreaking to see a player that's played for an organization go over and play for a rival, like the Dodgers.
Oh yeah,
because you never like a player to go and sign with a rival. That's very heartbreaking for me because every time I see him in a Dodger uniform, it gives me chills because I'm like, this guy used to play for the Giants in a Giants uniform, and now he's playing in the Dodgers in a blue and in a Dodger uniform. So for me, it was kind of like everybody was expecting it because Ahmed wasn't really producing well for the Giants, so they were kind of expecting that he would leave and go and sign with another ball club like the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But anyway, Shardo, thanks for having me on, man. And we'll do this again soon.
Hey, Lo, it was nice having you on the show. I always like doing these Giants and Dodgers post-game shows with you. It's a whole lot of fun to do with you. I love to hear your side of the story because you're a Dodger fan, so I like to hear what you have to say. And then it's kind of fun to to listen to what I have to say about the Giants and kind of go back and forth and bounce ideas off of each other.
All right. Have a good night, man.
We'll look forward to doing this another time. I hope you have a great night, Loro.
You too. Have a good night, Charles.
See ya.